How we doing, Bobby?
Sean.
It's on.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Sarah, here it comes at you.
Yeah.
Start smiling. And then Pearl.
Okay. Welcome to the regular board meeting. Today is July 31st, 2014. We will open the selectmen's meeting and I'll ask for a warrant. A motion to sign warrant.
More than willingly make a motion to sign warrants.
Second. All in favor?
I'll also make a motion to approve minutes of July 17th.
I'll second that.
Okay, wait a minute. Suzette.
You need to. I thought so. Trying to lighten.
It's usually not hard to keep up with.
And if you want us to slow down,
You
you'll
just tell so,
Just
you
tell
say
us,
so,
yeah.
right.
Who seconded the minute motion? Minutes motion.
Mike and Sarah did
Okay.
both.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
She's mighty so bad.
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't here.
She might be short, but she's mighty.
Thank you.
Okay. Old business.
Yeah, July 29th, we had a public hearing. We had 25 people in attendance. We had a chance to talk about the $300,000 CDBG grant that we are pursuing. We've been invited to move into the next phase. The public hearing was required by the grant as one of the conditions. The next step for the grant is acceptance by the community by town meeting vote. We talked about how it would affect the project. We talked about some possible finance options as to what it would mean to the community, and they had a chance to ask questions. I thought they asked some very good questions. There was some really good discussion, and all in all, I thought we got some positive feedback from the public hearing. The other part of the public hearing was in May of last year, the select board agreed to partner with Maine Forest Service to monitor logging in the shoreline zone. There was two options. You either partner with the Forest Service or you get out of the way and let them do it. If you agreed to partner with the Forest Service, though, you could share the funds. Either way, Maine Forest Service informed us that they'd be working with our code enforcement officer, would be Jim Clark, and making sure that he was aware of any enforcement action or any activity that they saw.
Was there anything, Mike, that lady asked about on that contract and how they write them up? I think she used to write them up for the military.
Yeah, the missing page was the signature page.
The signature page, okay, because I figured, not to be rude or anything, but I figured when the state steps in and they offer it to a town, what you get is what you sign, and that's all you're getting.
Well,
You know.
usually when you have a memorandum of understanding, and she was correct. It's
Yeah.
between two parties and you get two different options.
Yeah.
Wasn't a whole lot of options for.
Right.
No,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Is the PowerPoint, which included all of the monies that the citizens have set aside for this project and the new receiving the 300,000, is that on the website? Is that on our town? Can it be? Because the people that missed that meeting, they should see those numbers to see that this is the best deal we're going to get. I don't know how we can get any better where we brought $1 million+ project down to about $200,000, and this is just, you know, pinch yourself because you can't believe it, and it's true. So let's move this forward.
Right.
I mean, you know, we talked about, we understand it is a big project, but between the work the committee's done and cutting some of the pricing and adding the grant to it, plus, you know, the board putting money away in the future, the community putting money away through the sale of town-owned properties and adding money at town meeting, and you know, we do have some money dedicated to this project. I would like to see it move forward. Yes.
And also, if I may, one of the requests was perhaps looking into the option in pricing of, believe it or not, adding the radiant heat.
You know, that's wonderful,
So
you
that
know,
there's a choice,
Right.
perhaps with the taxpayers, if they're gonna accept, you know, X
Yeah.
amount of dollars, if it, you know, per year, or as it was broken down per month, if it reads an X amount of dollars plus 50 cents.
what I think of, Dan, is if you keep playing back and forth on teeter-totter, we've taken everything that was complicated and not being able to understand, and pricing looked so out of the ballpark. So you cut everything you possibly could off it. Now, we've narrowed it down from pretty close to $1 million to 200,000. And this is what the package is gonna consist of. My own personal status is to keep it the way it is, because if they wanna turn down the 300,000, okay, so be it, then the project, and then they're gonna live with the consequences on the end of all this, because different ones keep saying to me, out the street, well, what about the grandfather? What about the grandfather? Everybody's grandfather dies. He's dead. So here we are at this junction, and all the hard work that's gone in for like, what, 5 years, John? 4 years. Right now, I can't see any better deal for the town, no matter what. And I know that Ricky most certainly would be excited to pull that big truck, plow, sand and all, inside a door. That would be able to be above whatever it is outside and drive. And this way here, it's really clean cut for the public. It ain't shadowing off onto different things, or what do you think, what, because that's just gonna carry it on. Either do it or
I
don't.
totally agree, I just wanted it,
Well-
that it was brought up.
Yeah.
Sometimes the better deal isn't the better option, and if we're looking at a building that's gonna be with us for 50 years,
Mhm.
and we're looking at the longevity of trucks,
Right?
then I think it's good to look at all of our options.
Oh, it is, but one of the things I want to say to Sarah on that point is this. It's wonderful to say add the tubing into the concrete, but when you say that, you've already got to build the slab back up. So all of a sudden, you're driving the cost back through the roof. They're not looking at all of it, they're just thinking, well, we'll have radiant heat. Well, it wasn't that easy. To get the figures down, you had to take out the plumbing, plus then you was able to drop the distance of the concrete, and a whole lot of other factors in there that made a large amount of
Well, I'd
savings.
like to know the numbers.
Well, most certainly you can.
I think the numbers that we got from Sewell is, we saved about 70,000 taking the radiant floor heat out. And to go from an 8-inch slab to a 6-inch slab is gonna be an additional 7,400. So, yeah, it was,
About $8 grand there. So by the time you put them two figures together, you're pushing close to what, 90,000?
Well, I think that the difference in the attendees of the last information meeting was they were a more educated crowd in that they understood the value of this. And my way of viewing it was that I thought the resistance to that came from people thinking it was an extravagance, which it isn't. It's a smarter way to heat. So they obviously are aware that that is a smarter way to heat, and it was reflected in their questions of, are you going to put it back in? Because it's crazy not to put it back in. So I'm in agreement with Sarah that, you know, I'd like to see what those numbers could be, and if the community accepts that as, that's, you know, based on now that we've got a major portion of the money already dedicated to it, go a little bit more and have a good quality
Yeah, I was saying, maybe there's an option with if the grant's approved, so we go ahead and get the bidding, get a price, that the vote then comes down to, you know.
There you go. See,
Right.
that's how that could happen, Sarah, is that one company say, we'll do it for this much. If you want the radiant tubing back in, this is that much more.
Okay, so the contract is Sewell.
yeah, the contract with Sewell, and this is where we would get the numbers, to give us the information, you know, what is it in today's dollars with radiant, what is it in today's dollars without radiant? We talked about the contract with Sewell for engineering services for the project. We are advised to wait until after the public hearing by Mr. Foster, who was here, and the board elected to do so. Would the board consider signing?
I make a motion to move it. Yeah.
A second, yep.
All in favor?
Keep this moving. And, Bob Foster, he's trying to sneak out of town, so. Better get back into town, that's all I can say.
Get better.
Was he coughing though when he left? I mean, I heard he got quite sick.
Yeah, but he's not, he's gonna stay with us, but he's gotta get back here.
Oh,
He ain't leaving, he ain't checking out.
good.
Okay, new business.
Okay. New business, first item is just a reminder that the annual town meeting is set for Tuesday, August 5th, 2014, 7 p.m. at school.
And voting,
The voting is up here all day from 8 to 6. So I encourage people to get out and vote for the candidate of your choice. With 4 new board members, I think there's going to be a lot of responsibility on the public to get out and vote for who they think is going to be best to carry the town forward. And then the town meeting is like we said before, it's your community, come on out. Discuss the budget with us, look at it, and hopefully, the town can vote to approve it.
so just a reminder, the voting is up here, the meeting is at the cafeteria.
7 p.m. I got a call this week that rockweed harvesters were on Rogers Island. Up until now, we thought it was in a no-cut registry. Apparently, DMR updated the map, and according to the updated map, it is listed as available to cut. So I had a conversation this week with Robin Hadlock Seeley. She pointed me in the direction of Richard Bard from Down East Coastal Conservatory. They've been working with the state on updating the map. So in my conversation, I informed him that this is a piece of property that is a bird sanctuary, should be protected. We also have the back part of the 52 acre, was supposed to be in a no-cut zone, and newly acquired Federal Harbor would be another candidate for no-cut. Also,
Can I make one comment about that? Of the 3, the one that is the least significant in size is the Federal Harbor piece, because the town only owns 1 acre there. And that's kind of a concentrated area, and where it is all the way at the end of that, where it is at Lyons Road and Coffin's next, okay? There's that little hole up there.
Oh, look, yeah.
Yeah,
Right, I mean,
that's it.
that's it, and it's 1 acre wide, basically, so there's not a lot of rockweed there. No, so, but I mean, in order to be consistent with it being town property, and all town properties are on that no-cut list, then fine, put it on, but I mean, to me, that one is
Just a waste,
yeah.
That
we
drains
can
off quite low there.
Oh, it
Yeah,
does.
Way up in the place,
we can all not put it.
yeah, just doesn't.
We had this board, or the one prior to this board, during the heyday of the first rockweed cuttings, had voted to put this,
To put it on.
Rogers Island on no cut. And this was a mistake on the state's part. They're not being consistent with what the old map showed. And now they issue a new map, and conveniently that's not on there. Nothing changed from our thing,
No.
from our end.
I also received a note from Robin that said, "Dear John, I'll be giving a talk on August 12th at 6:30 p.m. in the Lubec Library on rockweed, including where the state is on rockwood industry management right now, the draft state rockweed management plan." So I think this is a good chance for people to get out and educate themselves.
What time?
6:30,
What was that date again?
August 12th. I understand that fishermen saw harvesters on Rogers Island today. Rogers Island will not be protected until the town puts the island into the state conservation lands database. So they're supposed to be there. I do plan on attending that meeting. I think, the best thing we can do is educate ourselves on the state plan, educate ourselves on, what are some of the effects to the bay, how much rockweed, can be cut safely.
Well, I was saving it for the committee updates, but that is pertinent to this. The DNR rep, Dennis Knoll, will be at either the August or the September Shellfish Committee meeting with the new area marine biologist. I believe her name is Heidi Lee. So, that might be a time to get some input from them regarding the property.
When is it?
It's August 18th for the plant diggers, harvesters. The next shellfish committee meeting is August 18th at 8, no, 4. August 18th at 4. We're hoping Dennis comes with the new area marine biologist.
But you won't know right now.
I don't, no, I had gotten an email and I had given him 2 meetings, this one or the next, so.
Okay. Maybe we can check with you
It just
when
seems
it gets
like
closer.
awful lot of extra work for the town.
Well, I'm suspicious that now we have to put it in a conservation land, or what's?
Right, yeah, that's sneaking it
Well, it's
into,
not putting it into conservation land, I don't believe, it's just having it registered with the conservation.
the thing is, it's the whole thing, why, I don't understand even having it registered with conservation people, because the land, the properties there, especially the ones that acre up in the federal harbor, they got nothing on it. Furthermore, from high water mark down, DMR always set the rules and regulations on what you could do and can't do. If there's a certain amount of weight and poundage between each harvester, you haven't got to go around and mark out, you can't here, you can't there, you gotta do this over here. Everything's left onto the town. It seems like an awful lot of work.
Or worse, it's left onto the property owner that runs down to their
Yeah.
little piece and says, oh, and then they have to get a barrage of obscenities from people that
Right.
feel they're doing the right thing.
Right.
You know, that, so it doesn't work either way.
Right, it just seems
Well, I
like.
think at the time that, the first time, when everyone was putting their land in, there was a lot, and it was being done through Buddy Land Trust. And I think this piece just got left off by
Well,
mistake.
anytime you mention a land trust, I just get warm and fuzzy all
Well,
over.
they had volunteered to do it, and they had a lot of properties that were going in all
That's
at
right.
one time.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think this was just an error. I think it was an omission, I don't think
Yeah.
it was done on purpose.
You know.
But anyway, John's gonna take care of this.
An update on the float. We've got most of the material we need to fix it. We've been looking around to find somebody with the ability to repair the float. I know I've talked to Jim and Mike and anybody that would listen as to a contractor who may be available to, it looks to me like maybe a half a day's worth of work.
They always say that.
I thought I'd get you
It's
on.
only gonna take 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm half a day,
2 days
okay?
later.
Okay, guys,
I talked to Jason Vicious, and he said he's gonna come up and take a look at it. He says he's busy, but he's gonna find some time to see if he can put the wood back in place. I'd like to get it back in the water this year, get the ferry back out there.
Okay, that addresses the wood issues. What are we gonna do about the flotation structure underneath that had the 2 end plates beat out by the waves of Arthur? That's not something a carpenter's gonna be able to fix. And we need, that's the black salmon pen pipe, which there is a guy in Cutler that has a welder, I understand, so he could re-weld it. So,
Yeah, you gave me the name and the address of the individual. That's gonna have to be done before it goes in.
right.
Next year, I know we talked about lifting it and
Reorienting the flotation underneath, which got all knocked askew from
Right.
the wave action of Arthur.
But I talked to the skipper of the Eastport Lubec ferry, and he said where he comes in, it wasn't gonna create a safety issue.
Well, if we're approaching this to get it back in for the remainder of the season, that's one thing, that's a patch job to get it
Right.
back usable. But the future of that float is that it either needs to be replaced or completely re-secured. The 2 pieces, the deck and the flotation structure, because we've tried everything possible known to man, and it's just, everything's broken under there. And this hurricane and the wave action knocked more stuff loose, so.
It's gonna be an ongoing
It's
project.
gonna be an ongoing project. Thank you, Jason.
At the last meeting, the selectmen asked me to put together a letter of appreciation for Margaret and Nathan Brown for their years of service to the community. I thought about putting together a letter, but it's like, where do you start?
Right.
And I thought that a certificate of recognition signed by the select board
Very nice.
Right, very nice.
would be
Yep.
more
Yep.
appropriate
Very
for it.
nice.
Yeah,
So,
Good
like,
good call.
basically, it says certificate of recognition, one is to Margaret Brown, the other is to Nathan Brown, in recognition of exceptional dedication and contributions to the residents and employees of the Ocean View Nursing Home. The town of Lubec wishes to thank you for your many years of service.
Yep.
Very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Motion to sign.
I make a motion that we sign both recognition certificates.
Second.
All in favor?
While this is going around, I'd like to remind people that town reports are available. If you have a chance to pick one up, go through it. They're available at the town office, the Fadden's, Lions Market, and Harbor Bank.
And yeah, it can be read off the website. I meant to ask, I was at McFadden's today, and I think there's only 2 copies left. Are there more? Should we leave them a box? Because,
Yeah, we took down
all right, well, right, okay. Just making sure that if, you know, one spot empties out, do we have more to replace it? Because,
If we run out, they're available online.
online.
Yes.
Okay.
And I like that it highlights our wonderful recycling center, so let's make this year the best one yet, save the town a little money. And if you have any recycling questions, in my spare time, I can give you a tour and tell you exactly how to do it. Just try to find me.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, last year we actually had a really good year at recycling. We did a record in revenue and tonnage out. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Kenny today, and you know we've already got a load ready to go. And contacted MRA, and right now the place that takes our material, right now they're full, so we're sitting on a waiting list. Victor told me that it might be a week, might be 2. I asked Kenny how he is on space, he said he's good.
Okay. I want to take this opportunity to say the incoming board needs to continue with supporting the need for storage space at recycling, because this is what makes it work. It's very important that even in the short term, that a sea container is obtained and placed in the right spot, so that, because these situations are gonna happen. And this is one of the problems that every town faces. They had a good thing going, oh yeah, we come every 3 months and pick up, except that one time that they didn't, and the place is chock-a-block full right to the ceiling, and they can't get rid of the stuff. So we need to have that extra reserve storage.
Well, right now,
I was just gonna add, as being part of that facilities committee, I know we've gotten distracted trying to get the salt sand shed moving forward, so I know it is next on the
Yeah.
agenda.
Good.
I don't think that should take.
we do have other avenues that we could send the material to. But a lot of these avenues, trucking can be up to $1,000 plus. There is one mill, a while back they asked us for a load of cardboard and newspaper, and they'd taken our mixed paper before and they thought it to be of high quality. So they took a mixed load from us and with absolutely no freight out of our pocket. So if we get stuck, we can send it. But what I would like to do is see if we can send it back up to this place in Canada that wants to buy it and that wants to pay the freight, and that's going to be more revenue for recycling.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Renee and Kenny made a great video, it's now on our website.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about recycling, almost every question is answered.
Yep.
Tells you what you can recycle, what you can't recycle.
We're still taking electronics, thank you, sir.
They are
Yep.
still taking electronics. Um,
Yes, we're still collecting e-waste.
But I mean, that is gonna come to an end sometime this fall. So people need to be aware, if you've got something that you're looking to, get rid of, get it down to the recycling center. Because, you know, like last year, we may have to discontinue for winter because of storage.
I'd like to interrupt the regular agenda. I see that Margaret Brown is here with us, and I'd like to have John present her with the certificate and give her the one Nathan. Margaret, could you come up, please?
I'm sorry Nathan's out of town. Thought he might get back in time, but he didn't.
One of the things that the select board talked about was to recognize you and Nathan, not only as an employer, but your contributions to the community. So the certificate of recognition presented to Margaret Brown in recognition of the exceptional dedication and contributions to the residents and employees of Ocean View Nursing Home. The town of Lubec wishes to thank you for your many years of service. To you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
We would like to definitely thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. Nathan has been the administrator for the last 13 years, and even though I've been the owner, he's been the leader, and I've been the social service person. And I'm sorry we've gotten to this point that we've had to make this decision, because it's been my heart for a long time.
Your heart has been very, very well placed, Margaret, because my mom had been there, had been close to you guys for a number of years. It is a sad state of things. Things can sometimes wrap around and give us a so-called squeeze and not a hug. But thank you ever so much for your dedication.
You're very welcome, and thank you for this recognition.
I'd like to thank you personally for your dedication and all that.
Yeah, see,
You're
it's just the shiny star in heaven.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Margaret.
Next item, the Lubec Brownfield debriefing is set for 9:30, August 28th, here at Lubec Town Office. What the debriefing is we partnered with the Historical Society for a brownfield application to clean up the former Columbian site. Anybody coming into town can see, you know, just down over the bank, the decay that's been there. While it's a reminder of our history, I think the future is better if that is cleaned up. We did receive notice from Brownfield that due to the overwhelming number of applicants, ours was not funded this round. I talked to Todd Coffin. He told me that that's not uncommon, that a lot of times applicants will go into round 2 and round 3 before they're funded. One of the things that we can do, if we are interested in continuing, is to set up a debriefing where somebody from the EPA will come in, sit down with us, go over our application, and tell us where we didn't score as well as we could have.
That's a good idea.
And if there's alterations that we can make on our next application that's going to make it stronger, where we need to put those, where we need to focus our attention.
Good idea.
I do think that this is still a good project for the community.
Yep.
I'd like to think that the next board will support this project and continue to move forward with it for the Historical Society. And I talked to Barb Salado, I let her know the time and date. And as that time and date gets near, I'll send her a reminder.
That meeting is open to the public?
That meeting is open to the public.
What was that date again, Chuck?
August
August
28th,
28th.
9:30.
9:30 a.m. here, town office. I've been out on the water behind Johnson Bay, and more of the concrete slabs have collapsed.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just going to pieces.
Well, it's a safety hazard.
Yep.
It's Excuse me, and it's also a problem for the Lubec Historical Society building. Eventually, it's gonna fall down. It needs shoring up in the back, and it would be a terrible shame to lose that.
Nope, we're not gonna lose our historical society.
As part of the remediation, the Historical Society, the building itself will be picked up from its current location, move over toward the parking lot and turn sideways.
Let's put on a new foundation.
Put on a new foundation. I got one,
If you can come out, please come out.
I got one more item. We had a luncheon today. We've got 4 board members tonight that this is their last meeting with us. I'd like to thank each one of them for their years of service, being there for me when I call them, pester them. And usually they give me some pretty good advice. What we did was, we got a card, and all the employees came by.
Oh, the money fell out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, the money. Now you'll start something.
For Sarah?
For
Sarah?
Something going there.
Nice for Jim?
Jim,
Mike
you
must
get
have
the
already got to one.
Dunkin' Donuts coffee card.
Mike?
Oh, you,
And
Oh, bye.
you got a big card.
I got a big card.
Thank you.
Nope, fell out of here too.
I mentioned, Joanne, that you probably feel left out.
No, I don't. I just want them to make sure, or please, I'll beg, to have them come to Tuesday night's meeting. I wouldn't want to look like Humpty Dumpty sitting there all by myself. So if they would just please come to one more meeting.
We will be there.
I
Well,
would
I will be
appreciate
there
it.
anyway.
The duties aren't over until that one.
But I
Yeah.
am going to miss them, all of them.
One of the things that I would like to say about this board, a lot of people, that run for selectmen, they don't realize, coming to a meeting 2 times a month is only the beginning. There's a number of committees, there's a number of boards and stuff that, part of being a selectman is to have a seat on that. And Betty and I sat down and we kind of thought over, and I know we don't have them all, but Mike Scrivani was a selectman, 2011-12, 12-13, 13-14 for 3 years. He was the emergency management deputy director for 12-13 and 13-14. Marion Transfer, station board of directors, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and he was their chairman for a number of those years. He was on the planning board, 08, 09, 9, 10, 10, 11. Shellfish Committee, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14. Town Improvement, CDBG Committee, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14. Municipal Facilities and Public Work, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14. Recycling Committee, 1 year. Harbor Board Committee, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14. Comprehensive Planning Committee, 08, 09, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12. And the Budget Committee, 2010, 2011. And there's probably some there that
Wow.
I haven't got.
If you didn't get a check, I'll give you a couple
I was
bucks,
in
man.
competition with Gary Brown.
See who was gonna wear the most hats.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Did a good job.
Thank you.
Maureen Glidden,
Oh,
she spent time as the town administrator. We had 0405, and I think we got done 9010. Selectmen, 12, 13, 13, 14. Municipal Facilities and Public Works Project, 13, 14. Boston Post Cane Committee, 1 year. Revolving Loan Committee, we couldn't find a start date. Over 20 years.
20 years,
20
yeah,
years.
20 odd years.
That's a long time. Revolving Loan Administrator for 5 of those years. And I know there's some other committees that
We had a housing committee, we've had all kinds of things.
Sarah McConnell, Selectman, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14. Town Improvement, CDBG Committee, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14. Scudic International Sculpture Symposium, 12/13/13/14. Washington County Budget Committee, 12/13/13/14. Recycling Committee, 13/14. Washington County Council of Government Representative, 12/13/13/14. And Jim Jones, Selectman for 12/13/13/14.
Yeah.
And Marion Transfer Station Alternate Board of Directors, 12/13/13/14. Even though he was not on the Public Works Committee, he did attend a number of meetings,
Yes.
and offer us support. So, you know, in addition to coming to meetings and working on behalf of the town, this-
Trips to Augusta.
Augusta and stuff
trips to
like that.
Augusta,
Yeah, that was educational. Wow.
Yeah.
One of the things with the new candidates is coming in, it was a good meeting to listen to their ideas and stuff. What I thought of quite a little bit sitting there listening is how the system runs and the stop shots and all the things that's in play that you've got to follow by different things.
Right.
So, thing that you've got to be very diligent in, and patience as a fly fisherman would have, you know, it's, but I look forward to seeing the new board and seeing how they, they're,
Wish them luck.
yeah,
I'd like to wish everybody luck that's leaving and the new ones coming on. I didn't get to the meeting on Monday night, but I did hear some negative comments that there were some factions from the LCOC, there were some factions from the Lubec Community Citizens Association. I would like to think that anybody running for this position is running for the whole town, not just on an agenda of one committee or the other. I would like to see everybody come up here and just be here for the whole town. It's not the school, it's not the ambulance, it's all of us. We're all here together. And hopefully we can, the 5 of us that are gonna be new, well, me, I've been here forever, but, on and off. But I'd like to think that we're here for the whole town.
very well put.
Yes.
Very well put. And I would like to thank Joanne.
Yeah. you've done a lot.
Joanne and I have been working together
Dinosaurs, we're
forever.
dinosaurs.
over 20 years, but we've also been friends and colleagues here, and when I worked at the school, Joanne does a wonderful job. She is certainly the backbone of our community, and I'd like to thank her, and thank you for all your help over the years. And I'd like to thank the rest of the board. It's been fun.
Yes, it has had its moments, there was a giggle here and there, yeah.
very nice. We tackled a lot of issues.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. It hasn't been easy for you either, John. I
No.
know, you know, you've only been here for 4 years and now you're gonna have another whole new board and, you know, just keep
Yeah.
up the good work and.
your workload's been really heavy, a lot of people don't know it. The same thing with the whole town office up here. I've had different ones say, you know, this is too big, that's too big, but if they only came and seen the work, what is involved, all the paperwork and hours, dedication on things, boy, there's a great deal that goes into this town at this size.
I asked John today how many grants he's working on at this time. 6? We used to have a person, Eve Preston, and that's all she did.
Yeah.
John wears many hats up here.
It's not
He's
easy up there.
RLF administrator, he's the grant person, he's a town administrator, he bosses all these people. I mean,
Yep.
he's their supervisor. It's a lot of work,
That's what we know.
and I certainly know.
Done a good
Well,
job.
we're very proud of your achievements.
Yes,
And that's the thing is, you know, I can't do it without the staff that I have.
right.
I mean, you know, when we worked together to go through the citations from the state, I mean, that was a complete team effort. And anytime you put together an agenda, this is the workload, everybody takes a piece of it. And it doesn't get done by one person alone, it's a true team effort.
And I'd like to thank a couple of spouses that have.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we all have support at home.
That's
because
right.
It's a lot of time. Mike, I think, has been on and Sarah have been on every committee going.
Well, we saw that was how to affect things happening, and if the world's run by those that show up.
Yeah.
So if you're just gonna sit home and think, oh, I heard they had a committee meeting, well, you don't know anything. Get involved.
You're right.
I don't think Sarah saw her kitties for 3 months.
I think she brought one of them to the meeting.
Well, I was looking forward, and at the last meeting, I was kept on a couple of committees, and just in the last 2 weeks, actually, just yesterday, I've taken on a new role at work, which will have me traveling more and more nights away, so I've actually stepped down from the county budget committee, and you guys can decide if you would like to fill that role with a Lubec representative or not, and let the county manager know that, or Carla. Their meeting will be on the 14th, so as soon as you can know, the better. And then if you can scratch my name off the other committees, and I know that they're always open to the public and they're updated on a calendar. And hopefully everybody else knows that, so that they can join in the fun. Even if they're not an official member of these committees, they're always open to the public and for comment and, you know, like Mike said, get involved.
I will warn you though, it's kind of like quicksand. You get
Don't say that.
Well, don't jump in like Mike and I did to all of them.
No,
Just
that's right,
pick
that's
one.
right, you guys did too.
Just pick one.
You got burned out, you burned.
You guys just, wow.
Just sit right back and do the ambulance like I do. That's what it's all about.
I can remember careening down the road with Joanne at almost midnight one night because the ambulance was having a crisis and she dropped her sandwich in her lap and said to Bill Day, "Here, take the wheel while I find my sandwich." I thought, oh God, here we come. So, anyhow, on we go.
Okay, committee updates.
Okay, I did Shellfish. The August meeting is the 18th at 4. The September meeting is at, the September meeting is on the 21st. I'm not sure. No, we'll deal with the August meeting first, one meeting at a time. Don't miss that August meeting.
You are
Okay.
staying on that committee, all right?
Yes, I've been asked by the committee to stay on.
Has that been written down, you know?
Yes.
Big cleansing or anything.
And
Are you staying on the harbor board?
I will stay on Harbor Board. I will not stay on municipal facilities. I will not stay on recycling.
Marion transfer?
I will stay on Marion Transfer until such time as the board gets their feet under them and can assign a selectman. A selectman should be on that board. I mean, I realize that the
You've
town-
been there for so long, so Mike, I mean, you know.
I can remain, I don't mind doing that. It is one meeting a month, and as long as Randy gives me the correct mileage sheets to fill out, instead of the ones from 1920,
Yeah.
16
I
cents
think
a
it's-
mile.
I, like myself,
Right.
How else are we gonna save money?
I was gonna say, Mike, that is the updated one.
Oh. But I thank all of you for the advice and support you've given me in the 3 years that I've been on this, and I know that we've all done a fantastic job of moving important issues that the town had facing it along. And it was an enjoyable experience, so thank you.
it's kind of a funny thing, I've told Mike this 100 times, but when he first came on board, I was kind of very, very skeptical about Mike Scavani. And until I got to really know him, I thought, oh man, you better go back to where he came from.
Oh,
But this man has really stepped up to the plate and he has done so much. Can't thank him enough. He knows I've changed 100% on that.
Well, thank you, Joanne.
Okay, any other committee updates?
Scudic International Sculpture Symposium begins this Sunday and will run until September 10th. So for the next, how many weeks is that? A long time that the artists will be on site creating their sculptures, and the committee will still be raising funds. And tentatively, we have a date of August 12th to have a Meet the Artist event. But we'll decide when we actually get to meet him. We'll be going on site, our day to volunteer and bring lunches are Sundays. So we'll be traveling.
Is that a Sunday, August 12th?
No, that's a Tuesday. So he would be coming here to have a chance for everybody to
No,
meet
okay.
him.
You don't know when that's
We
gonna
will
be?
be traveling the 2 hours to their site weekly to provide lunches and be there all day.
Do you know where he'll be?
Who's hosting, how is this?
We don't know yet, and it's a tentative date, because we don't know if that date will work for them. That's the date we're proposing.
The only
So-
reason I'm asking is that's the date of the Rock Week. I'm gonna get
Nice.
library, 6:30.
Oh, that's in
What time is the service?
I don't think we had a time yet. They work until 4 or 5.
Yeah, but he's not working on anything yet, right?
Well,
No,
not
but
yet,
August
but they will be
Okay,
then.
but that day, I mean, he should, it would probably be better if we got him here for sometime around noon to meet people.
Well, they work it daily, so it'll be a night event. They will be working rain, shine,
Yeah,
for the, pretty
I
much.
saw the video where they had a big tent set up over there, so they had no reason not to work. Pouring rain, we're scheduled it.
I suppose 6 weeks really isn't all that long, considering what we did.
So they'll get here on Sunday, Monday, some of them won't arrive yet. And then they'll pick out their stone and present their designs, and then they'll start.
Oh, John, did you tell Sarah about, Denise Wu coming to see the Stockford slab? And the Stockford slab, all this time, I thought it was a bronze.
Granite.
It's not, it's
Granite.
red granite, it's a
Granite.
beautiful red granite
It will
block.
fit in, it will fit in
It will
really
fit
nice.
in, and if we can just get a rough piece of the same stone to set that on,
Yeah,
that would be really nice.
We've
Yes.
already talked to Jesse, and he thinks that it's more than a doable thing to get a piece.
Good, that's really good.
And he'll wanna look at it. So is it
Yep.
here?
Yeah.
It's here,
It's in
Denise
the,
has photos, I don't know
yeah.
how they came out.
It's in the,
It's 2 foot
Fire
square,
gun.
it's
Fire
2 foot
gun.
square by 4 inches thick.
Yeah.
So if the office
Polished
is
one
open,
side.
we might come in someday.
Okay,
And Jesse,
Yep.
who knows rock,
yep,
he might need to see it.
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah, good. Good,
But
that'd
I
be good to have
thought
it.
that was fitting, that it's already granite and it would
Yeah.
fit
Yeah.
right in. So we'll keep people posted.
Good.
And then off topic of committee, but an update, it is the Fog Festival, which is
Right.
fitting for the weather today. This is day 2 of 5 days, and it's free music until Sunday on Campbell Island with phenomenal artists, local and otherwise. If you like music, get over to the island. We have a lot of Lubec artists performing too.
Anything else? Now I'll ask for public comment. Anyone have a comment?
I didn't get a chance, I did to some individuals, and I promised if I got the chance I would, but to thank the current select board, those exiting for their time and service.
thank you.
Much appreciated.
one more thing before tax collector from Randy, sewer foreclosures notices will be mailed up tomorrow with the foreclosure date of September 15th.
September 15th for sewer foreclosures.
Please.
Please
come in
pay
and
your
pay.
sewer bill.
Come in and talk to them.
That's right, if
Make
you're
an
having problems,
arrangement.
stop up here and talk to Andy.
Talk to Randy, if Randy's not around, talk to Betty, if
That's
Betty's
right.
not around, talk to John, any of them.
Right, please, it's crazy to risk losing your home to sewer foreclosure bill.
I just have one final thing. Town meeting is Tuesday night, and every town meeting that I've been to, there's been many. Every night I walk out of there, I feel like I'm a criminal. I feel like the people out there in the crowd think that we are up here to steal money or to misuse money. And believe me, we are not. We are up here to try to help people. We are up here to try to do our best to see where the money goes. We're not up here to do anything with your money. Believe me, we're not. And I just wanted, you know, I don't know how anyone, I mean, don't you feel that way?
Well, it's
I mean,
funny
you
that.
feel like, you know,
Right.
that you're doing something wrong.
Right.
And we're not. I mean, I'd just soon be home. I'd just soon be at the Legion right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right.
But, really, I mean, you feel like you're here and you do and you do and you do and you have budget meeting upon budget meeting and you beat your head against a brick wall to try to
Right.
rob from Peter to pay Paul to,
Mhm.
you know, keep your taxes at a minimum because we do have a lot of people that are low income
Right.
and can't pay the taxes and, you know, so, you know, please, you know, when we go to this meeting, you know, make me don't feel like I've been, you know, I've been stealing somebody's money.
But
Joanne, if it makes
yeah.
you feel any better, all the years that I have been involved with the town government, those audits are serious business.
They
And,
are.
and we would not get
Right.
the
This audit was
the glowing
awesome.
recommendations when we get an audit
I
done,
know.
if there was anything funny going on up here.
Right.
So that's just, it's human nature.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
They,
It's human nature. And
sometimes
I've been
they-
waiting for
It's not
3 years to
everyone.
blame somebody when
Right.
I leave annual town meetings where
Yeah.
their taxes go.
Yeah, oh,
Well,
yeah.
it isn't everyone, it's just, you know,
Well,
a few people.
It's disappointing sometimes, Joanne, when you work hard on a project, then you put it before the general public. They look at it and then they say that they're not interested into it. And then later on, after the meeting's over, somebody says, well, but we can still do part of this and this and this. And they didn't realize that the only way you're gonna do it is if the thing passed. And, you know, I don't know if that's a breakdown in communications, the understanding of, but it really does make it tough to take home, lay that on your pillow at night, you know, and try to, and the interest for all the selectmen, and I've had this said before, well, you guys. I said, well, us guys are servants for you, the taxpayers. And what we're trying to do is our very best for you. So, I don't think I've seen your face up here. Come on now.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
So, I understand what you're saying.
and thank you for saying it.
Yeah,
Well,
most
you know,
certainly.
hey.
Yeah, that's good.
Never known to be close-lipped. I'd like to make a motion, we go into executive session.
On, what is it?
Go ahead, James, you do it.
No, you do it.
No, I wanna
I
see
always
what you
get the
say.
little squiggy thing there.
I'll say it, what is it?
What are the personal issues, 1MRSA, subsection 405, 6A, selectmen concerns.